best station in the nation, and we got it right here at our location. Let me hit this drop one time. How about that?
Hey, Tuskegee, make sure you watch the Macon County Sheriff's Report with Sheriff Andre Brunson every day at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on Tuskegee Virtual TV, Channel 181 in town, and Channel 19 on the TU campus, hosted by DJ Booty Rush. Be sure to check out our live stream every Thursday evening on YouTube at Tuskegee Virtual. We're keeping Tuskegee in the know.
And you know this. And you know
Y'all still up to give a warm welcome to Sheriff in the building. Y'all, let's go.
Hey, Macon County, how you doing today? Everybody doing good today?
Everybody doing good.
Everybody doing good today. I heard everybody in the audience say, yes, we doing good today. All right, 100.7 FM with DJ Booty Rush, WBZ with DJ Booty Rush, Hear Me TV, Tuskegee Virtual TV, Channel 181 in town, Channel 19 on campus with Pat Wallace, director, Kimberly Wright, Butch Baxter, and Jordan.
Superhero Jordan.
Yes.
Superhero Jordan.
Right.
Hey, you already said everybody in the building today. Boy, we got a lot of people in here today.
We do.
Boy, look good. I'm my buddy here, the revealer today. We got to
Revealer
call
in the
him
building.
on after a while.
That's right.
We got to ask you a question after a while. And, of course, we got Miss Sheriff.
In the building.
Hey, we got Brisk. I told Brisk, don't touch my candy today.
He been eating salad. He can't eat no candy. He eating
He
salad.
better eat my candy. I did feel sorry for him and gave him a couple pieces.
Okay.
he did.
Yeah, we gave him a couple pieces, but you know how that goes.
That's right.
You know, I got a big heart.
That's right. You do.
Last
You
week
do.
I was going to beat him up by my candy. And this week I offered him some candy.
Candy,
Wow.
But that's good, ain't
That's
it?
good.
That's good.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I'm a good person.
That's right.
There
You gotta
you
be
go.
good.
There you go. Yes, sir.
So check this out. I wanted to, before we start the official report, I wanted to, first of all, congratulate our Sheriff, Andre Brunson, for 1 year on the air.
Right.
We've been doing this for a whole year.
That's right.
It was March 16th last year when we started this.
That's right.
And we've been doing this every week.
Every week.
And
every
I got to
Thursday.
congratulate you, Booty Rush, being consistent. We've been doing this thing, and I want to congratulate the crew, Butch, Kim, and Jordan. And of course, one of our favorite guests to be on the place in the building is community, because
I
a lot of
appreciate
people
that,
really hang on that message.
Yeah, they do.
And we're gonna do another 5, 10, 100 years.
Hey, hopefully I can stay here this long. Baby.
Okay.
You know,
Right. Yeah.
you know, hopefully I serve the people well, and they think I need to be here, and I deserve to be here. You know, hopefully they feel that way, and I'm going to do it as long as I can. Yeah. And I really appreciate the people here in Macon County for entrusting me to be their sheriff. You know, I just want to do what's right.
Right.
You know, I care about the people, and I know we got to enforce the laws here, but I just want to do what's right. So I appreciate that, everybody in Macon County, and I really thought it was important to do this show because we got to let people know what's going on,
That's
what's
right.
going on around. This information is very important.
Very important.
You know, it could even save some lives.
That's right.
That's
you know,
right.
not just keep people informed, but it could even save some lives.
That's right. That's
And
right.
I don't care whether it's good, bad, or whatever. I tell it all.
That's right.
You know, I don't try to hold anything back. If it's bad, what's going on at the sheriff department, you're going to know it. You're going to hear it from me first.
That's right.
If it's bad in the community, you're going to hear it from me first. I ain't
right.
holding nothing back.
That's right.
You know, and I think that's the way it should
That's
be.
right.
But I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity, and I have enjoyed every minute of it.
Right.
You know, besides the times when I've been sick, you know, I try to be here. Even when I was sick, I try to
Sure
be here.
did. Yep.
You know, even when I had to go out of town, I call in.
Or send a deputy, yeah.
Somebody,
That's
I
right.
mean, this is important. We're going to have some representation every week.
Every week.
But I want to be here myself.
Yeah, right.
Every week. You know,
That's
it's
right.
like a family here. You know,
right.
we come and we get our job done and we have fun, you know, and it's just always good to talk to the community.
Right.
So thank you, everybody. 1 year, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Keep it going.
Like you
Oh,
said,
yeah.
for
That's
years,
right.
years and years.
That's
to
right.
come.
That's right.
You know, and it's just going to get better and better and better. And I see what y'all doing here at the station. You know, I mean, it's not even like it was when we first
started,
came.
right, yeah.
Yeah, when we first
We had
started.
one camera.
One camera. And things have consistently got better and better and better. You know, and I know everybody can see that. So
Right.
thank you to y'all, too, and thank y'all for having me.
Right.
You know, I enjoyed every minute of it. And have been enjoying every minute of it.
We have too.
Yeah,
Man.
we've been having fun too.
Been looking forward to Thursdays, man. You know
I look forward to it. Really,
look forward to it, man.
And we was talking before we started. Hey, man, we are all so busy, but we take the time
out.
That's
to
right.
be here, and we look forward to being here.
Yep.
So that's a great thing, man.
It's
That's
like
a great
fellowship.
thing. Yeah.
Right,
It's
exactly.
a great thing, man.
Yeah.
Great thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but before somebody start crying and all that stuff, we're gonna go ahead with the sheriff report.
Don't
All
cry,
right,
Kim.
Don't cry. That's right. All right. Between the dates of March the 9th to March the 15th, the Macon County Sheriff Department in the last 7 days has received 98 volunteer fire transmissions, 1,289 landline calls, 342 E911 calls, and 1,325 radio transmissions for a total of 3,054 contacts, which is good. We're a few down from last week. I think we had 31 last week, but 54 this week, which is still good. You know, the numbers are about the same, but you know, that's everybody staying consistent with calling in and letting us know what's going on in the community, which is great.
Yeah.
On 3-9, we had arrest on a SORNA violation. On 3-9 on Howard Lane, we had a theft of property. On 3-9, we had arrest, failure to pay. On 3-10, Consor Circle, we had a stolen bag. Corsa Circle, we had a stolen bag. On 3-12, arrest made on a probation violation. On 3-13, Alabama Highway 14, private property accident. On 3-13, U.S. Highway 295, an assault. On 3-13, U.S. Highway 295, an assault. On 3-13, County Road 10, we had arson. On 3-13, I-85 northbound, property damage. On 3-14, County Road 53, a burglary first, which we're going to talk about. On 3-14, County Road, unauthorized use of a vehicle. And on 3-15, U.S. Highway 295 South, 29 South, theft of property. Okay. So, had another busy week, but one that concerned me was yesterday.
Okay.
County Road 53, the burglary.
Right.
And we were just so happened up at Notasulga High School doing a drill, so we were very close to this burglary. It only took us about 3 to 4 minutes to get there, but the call came in that there was a burglary in process. You know, the homeowner was at home and somebody came in the home on him. That's very disturbing.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
You know, a young lady was there, and I'm not going to give the exact location. I'm definitely not going to give a name. But a young lady was at home with a child. I think the son was 4 or 5 years old. Mm-hmm. You know, a young mother at home with a child. Somebody came to the house, you know, thought nobody was there, and they kicked the back door in, and she was standing there.
Wow.
And I know it scared her to death, and I think it also startled them because they didn't expect nobody to be at home.
Right.
But these guys had on masks, had on gloves, and had guns.
Okay.
And they kicked her door in there with her and her young son, and like I said, I think it started them, and they ran.
Right.
And luckily and fortunately, they did run.
Great.
But it just scared her and that child so bad, man. I felt bad, you know, but luckily it only took us a few minutes to get there.
Right.
We you know, I know we made them feel a lot better when they saw us.
Right.
So we were able to get in the house and get them out of the house safely, you know, and until her husband got out there. And, of course, she felt better when he got there. But, you know, we can't have crimes like these.
Yeah.
You know, we can't have crimes like these. And that's what we don't want.
Exactly.
Right.
And we searched for them. We thought we had them in the wooded area, but evidently they got out of that wooded area before we can get there, even as fast as we got there.
Right.
You know, we set up a perimeter around the house, the woods, all the roads around, and we called the dogs from Kilby's in, and, you know, the U.S. Marshals came out to help out, and so did a lot of other people.
Right.
And unfortunately, we didn't get these guys. But we do have some leads. You know, we do have, you know, you look around and talk to the neighbors about cars that shouldn't be in the neighborhood and don't normally come in the neighborhood, and those are some great leads.
That's right.
You know, we're thinking they had a car parked somewhere and was able to get out of there before we got there, but we're going to be diligently looking, you know, for these people that did this.
Okay.
I want you to know, Macon County, if you see anything, you hear anything, please let us know.
Okay.
If you see any strange cars in the neighborhood, please let us know.
That's
We
right.
don't mind coming out.
That's right.
You know, we got to protect our neighbors and protect each other. You know, and I like I say, I feel bad. Young lady and her child there, you know, I mean, there's no excuse for that.
Right.
You know, there's no excuse. And you people that are doing these things, we're going to find you. We're going to keep looking until we do find you. We don't want that.
Right.
And we're going to protect our citizens.
Got to.
And like, you know, I'm just, I'm upset about that.
Right.
I'm very upset about that. But that's what happened yesterday, and we're still looking. It's going to be an ongoing investigation, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens.
Now, what about the training you guys were doing at the school?
Well, what we were doing at the schools, we started with BTW on Tuesday.
Okay.
And I think it's very important that all my guys, especially people that work at the sheriff department, are familiar with all the schools.
Okay, great.
We need to know the layout of the schools. We need to be prepared just in case anything happens.
Right.
So I decided that, I talked to the superintendent, and we do a lot of training at schools anyway.
Right.
But we went up to the school to make sure the guys were able to get into school, know what they're doing, what our job will be if we got there.
Okay.
Our job is to take out the threat.
That's right.
Before, when we were training years ago, they would say, hey, wait on the SWAT team.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't wait on the SWAT team when people in there, our young people in there getting shot or killed, or dangerous persons in the school. So they changed that. First person there needs to go into school and try to eliminate the threat.
That's right.
But one of the things we thought about when you get to the school, the school does a good job with the lockdown.
Sure do.
So when we get there, what happens? We can't get into school.
Right.
So we came up with a plan. The superintendent gave us some keys so we can get into school in case something happens.
Exactly.
We don't have to wait on somebody to try to open the door and do these things.
That's right.
And, security at the school does a great job. Tony Washington at the school, and he is a deputy sheriff. And we all work together, and it's all about the kids.
That's right.
So we have a great plan together just in case it happens, and we're going to be practicing at all the schools in the county.
Great.
To make sure my guys initially know what to do and what the plan would be just in case something happens.
Great.
And I only did it with the sheriff department this time and emergency management, but we're going to have a big event that includes all the surrounding police departments and agencies.
Okay, gotcha.
Because we have the first responders, fire department,
right.
We have to be on the same page.
That's right. That's
But
right.
I thought it was important just that the sheriff department did it, so we'll know we're on the same page.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? As a leading law enforcement in the county, we have to know what we're doing, no matter what.
Right.
We're going to be there.
That's right.
And we're going to support the school. We're going to support, the schools, and we're going to support our kids.
Right.
And if nothing else, we definitely going to be there.
That's right.
And we're going to know what we're doing.
That's right. I know that's right.
Yeah, we're going to know what we're doing.
You know exactly all the exit
and,
doors
I asked the guys, I say, is anybody going to be afraid to go in?
Right.
If you are, this is not the place for you.
Right.
Let me know now.
That's right.
If you're not going to go in and risk your life or sacrifice yourself for these kids.
That's right.
And that's a serious question.
Right. You're right.
That I put to my guys.
That's right. That's right.
Who's going to do this?
That's right.
Right.
Who's going to sacrifice their life for these kids?
That's right.
Because you heard about what happened last week.
That's right. But everybody raised their hand. We willing to do it, Sheriff.
Okay.
We going to do it.
Okay.
And that's all I want.
That's it.
This is our job.
100% participation.
Yeah, that's right.
What you want.
People don't understand officers. We're basically the bad guys for real until something really happens. And I know that.
Yeah, you're right.
We're not like people.
That's right.
But most of us are very good at heart. We care about the people.
Right.
And it takes a special person
Very
to
special.
run into something that they know they might not come back out
right.
of. You got to have the courage to do this.
That's right.
People shooting or firing bullets, and we run into it.
That's right.
Everybody else running away.
Yep, you're right.
We jumping in front of people to save people, just like that brave teacher did.
Right.
We jumping in front of, and we do that without even thinking about ourselves.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And most of us do that.
That's right.
Unfortunately, one guy didn't do it, and he's not going to be able to live that down.
Yep.
Ever.
Yep.
He's not going to ever be able to live that line down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I pray for him. I pray for his family because that's a very bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Yeah.
That's
But I put that question to my guys, and I think they're sincere about it. They know what I believe in, what I want, and long as they follow me, I'm okay. I'm gonna be the first one in. I mean, that's what we do.
That's what we do. Sign
That's
up
what
for
we
that.
do.
Yep.
You
That's what we signed up for.
Right.
And I can look at the revealer. He's a police officer at heart.
That's right.
He gonna be there.
Yeah. Chief at that.
Chief.
Chief at that.
Oh, we know he'll run in.
Chief. We know he going in.
Right.
I know he got our back.
That's right.
And you know what? He's a reserve deputy too.
Okay.
He's a reserve deputy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know you going in.
That's right.
I know you are.
That's right.
Without hesitation.
Without hesitation.
Hey, I got Pat too.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know I'm going in.
Pat Madrone, man.
But
Hey.
if I can squeeze through what I need to squeeze through, I'm getting in there. You know what I'm talking about? You need to be a little bigger for me. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going through the big door.
Yeah.
But you know,
The double dough.
The double door.
but you know, it was very good going to the school and doing that. We got a chance to mingle with the kids at the school. We got a chance to eat lunch with them. You know, we got a chance to be with the superintendent, the principal, and everybody at the school. Mm-hmm. And it was just great. You know, the kids were very respectable. You know, they opened arms, had us in there, and I know they know that we're trying to do something to save them and help and protect them.
Right.
You know, we got to make sure that, you know, we checked all the doors at the school. You know, we walked around and looked at cameras. You know, we just going to have a totally great, secured school.
Right.
And that's what we want.
That's right.
Right.
And the more we train there and learn the times and what's going on, the better we will be and the more efficient we will be.
Right.
On Wednesday, we went to Notasulga and did the same thing.
Okay.
You know, we had a scenario at Notasulga where we had to use the drone and we had to find the shooter outside the school, which helped. We had a dog and our K9 helps tremendously when something like that occurs. Yeah. You know, and it's just training. And next week we'll start at another school. We're going to try to hit all the schools and we're going to keep training at all the schools.
Right.
So we're going to be familiar with all the schools. And they have a tool that, they used to call it Virtual Alabama. I forgot what they said they call it now. What the school has done, they put it on a layout, and you can go to your phone. And
It's like
you
in
can
3D.
See, you can go and see everything in the school.
Oh,
for
schematics,
first
all the
responders.
schematics of the school.
Where every closet is, where every classroom is.
Right.
And everybody, all first responders can pull it up on their phone or a computer, and everybody can be on the same page.
Great.
And that's a great job by the school system bringing that here to Macon County.
Yep.
You know, when I worked as school security or the resource officer, we had it then, and it was a great tool, and it's an even better tool now.
Right.
And it's gotten more advanced, and they are definitely using it. You know, and they came and remapped the school last week.
Okay.
So we're getting ready to get that on again, and that's just a good thing. And that's with every school in Macon County.
Great.
So they're taking steps to keep our kids safe.
Okay.
You know, and God forbid something happens, but we want to be prepared for it.
Yeah, we're ready.
And you got to know what you're going to do in battle.
That's right.
You know, and the more we prepare, the more we train, the better off we would be.
That's right.
And not only in the schools, same way at the, at the courthouse,
hospital,
everywhere.
Same way with everywhere.
Yeah.
We're going to be prepared.
That's right.
And, we got a bunch of brave men and women that work at our department, at the police department, and at all these departments around here that are willing to do the same thing.
Right.
So, shout out to all the first responders. Y'all do a great job, and we just going to get better. As long as we stick together, we'll be all right.
That's right.
But we're going to be trained. We're going to have the equipment. We're going to have the vehicles. We're going to have everything we need to respond to anything that happens here. So that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Having the equipment, and all
yeah,
that kind of stuff
it's
like that.
important.
It's very important.
It's very important.
Yeah. Very important.
People don't see that, but it is very important. And to me, no amount of money is more important. I'll spend some money on getting the stuff that we need to keep my guys safe.
That's right.
To keep this community safe. I mean, I'll spend the money to do that.
Yeah. You need to.
Vehicles, equipment, body armor,
all
weapons,
all
everything, just
all
to be
that.
prepared, because you never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
And as the leading law enforcement officer in this county, it's my responsibility to do that.
Right.
So, I'm going to make sure we have what we need.
Great.
And that's a good thing to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good thing.
Real good thing.
And, today we went to George Washington Carver. I took my staff there. We read to the kids, and that was a lot of fun.
Wow.
That was a lot of fun. Those kids are great, man.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah, that's good.
And it was good to read to those kids. It was good to mingle with the kids, the principals, and everybody there. Shout out to everybody there. And it's just a good thing.
Right.
It's always a good thing.
Yeah, that's great.
That's what's important.
Very important.
That's what's important.
Oh, yeah.
No kid, they'll sit right there Indian style just to see somebody
man.
else read to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll sit there. They
You and I can't sit Indian style no more.
No.
I can.
You can't?
Yeah, I can.
He and I can't.
We can't, man. No. No. I used to, man. I used to be limber a little bit. I taking the karate and stuff up, but no more.
Too much busy bees. Too much busy bees.
It's busy bee Yellowstone, baby. That's why
Busy bees in Yellowstone.
And at the house, my wife
Yes,
cook.
sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
But we had a nice conversation going on last week about what's wrong with people today.
Yeah.
And we didn't finish that conversation. It got very interesting.
It did. It really did.
You know what I'm saying? And hey, Mr. Revealer, Chief, come on here with us because I want to ask you this question.
Can we get
give us a little more insight coming from somebody else who hadn't heard what we were talking about? That we can ask you this question. Pull up. You got a chair over here for our friend here.
Yeah, we got to give him a big warm welcome, man.
Give him a warm welcome.
Yeah, we got to give him a warm welcome. We got to reveal it in the building. Chief Leon Frazier. Y'all stand up and give him a big round of applause, too, as well. Let's go.
Got to give him a big shout out.
This is what I can't understand. How all three of them big old heads gonna fit on that TV?
Well, we gonna see. We gonna see. But very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting question. What's wrong with people today?
Okay.
I just can't say, and people say, well, what's wrong with our youth today? It's not just our youth. Mm-hmm. It's not just our parents. Mm-hmm. It's just people in general.
Right.
I think are different.
Right.
It's different than when I grew up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The way people act and the way people do things, you're going to always have criminals. You're going to always have people that are mad. You're going to always have these things. But it is a difference today.
Different, yeah.
So I put that question to you. What's wrong with people today? So I know Pat remembers some of the things he said. Pat, what's wrong with people today in your opinion?
Well, like I said last week, one of the main things that I think is bothering folks is the technology, the fact that everything is so interconnected.
Right.
And then we've lost our privacy because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody tends to know a lot about everybody else, especially with social media. A lot of people will put their business out there.
Right.
And so it's a whole different climate of consciousness in the country because everything is like that.
Right.
And the other thing is a lot of people have lost their faith.
Right.
And when you're so bombarded with all this social media and you go in your house and you talk to the device and it starts answering questions and stuff, we're getting away from interpersonal contact.
Right.
And we're losing our faith. That's what I think is the main problem going on today.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
What do you think, Revealer?
What do you think, Revealer? What do you think? What's wrong with people today in your opinion?
Well, I think we have lost our way.
Okay.
Columbus stumbled out of England, headed in the wrong direction, thought he was going one direction, ended up another.
Right.
He ended up here, saw some people that was different. That evil attitude and mind followed him and his thugs, out of England. Once he got here, the Native Americans were here. Instead of them meeting, greeting, socializing, and accepting Native Americans the way that they were, they came in and started planning ideas and schemes in order to take advantage of the Native Americans. He went back and reported to the Queen that he had found some strange kind of people, strong, big, bad, and bold. They could be good servants. Then somebody, white, decided they was going to boat over some black folks by the millions, brought them here, enslaved them. They lost their way. Then we have, and I don't understand why white people, and not all white people, but too many white people can be evil, And when you are evil and you can't accept people for what they are and whom they are, well, then you start to create conflict and problems. And then we got into a situation where black people had to cop an attitude back against white people. And so other than the decent whites and the decent blacks, we have conflict and confusion and detrimental actions and attitudes toward each other. So then as we raise our children, we look at lynchings in the past. White man would go out and decide he was going to lynch a black man. He'd bring all of his whole family out, and they would have a picnic around the lynching. Now, these little 8 and 9 and 10-year-old white children standing at a lynching, being socialized in it, is no way that they can shed those feelings in their life. Their feelings become a part of them. And as a consequence, we have a nation of people who do not have love, trust, and respect for each other because of the detrimental actions of others. So therefore, when you add to that what Patrick just said, all of this technology that caused things to be coming at us 1,000 miles an hour so that we cannot differentiate one from the other, the good from the bad, then we have a confused people, and we have all lost our way. Adults are not honorable anymore. They are not truthful anymore. They are corrupt. Our children see that, and we can see the result of that all over this nation the other day when young people walked out of school to declare that it's going to be different. These are the kinds of things that I see that has driven us to a point of devastation and despair. And I can see now hope in our children that they are saying we will no longer accept corruption. We will no longer be dishonest. We will love and trust each other. And I believe that we are going to be forced as adults to listen and hear them. And I believe that from here we may have an opportunity for a better society.
Wow. Boy, that was a deep answer there.
He went all the way to the root. He went to the root.
Boy, that was deep answer. Did I ask the right question? Boy, that was a deep answer there. But you know what? I understand where he's coming from.
I understand, too.
You know, I understand where he's coming from. And, you know, that answer could be from different generations. You know what I'm saying? Because you think back, and I guess he's a little older than we are, and they had to deal with a lot more racism than we dealt with. And I don't want to talk about racism and all that. We always say we're not going to talk about that. But I get they had to deal with a lot more than we did.
But let me share something. Your generation, our generation, I know, speaking for myself, being from Tuskegee, I am the first generation in Tuskegee that did not experience any of that Jim Crow. I've never seen the whites only stuff, the whites only water fountain. My generation never saw that. You did. Chief saw that. You know, so that influences his way of thinking.
Oh, yeah,
for
that's
sure.
What I say, the
and because they are our elders, that rubs off on us too.
Oh, it does.
You see what I'm saying?
Definitely
so,
does.
I mean, what he's saying is absolutely right.
Absolutely,
he did not say anything that was not true.
Didn't say that
You know,
true.
yeah, like you said, we try not to avoid it because we don't want to hurt some people's feelings, right?
Right.
But we know that everything that he said was the absolute truth.
It was. Definitely.
You know, and so when, like I said, when you mix that understanding with what the technology is allowing us to do today, every day in my feed I see something about what happened in slavery or some past injustice, you know? I mean, it's a constant thing, and people are pulling up all kinds of examples of this.
Right.
And see, what that does is stokes the fire. It makes people mad. Every time I see something like that, I see there's a famous picture, just like what Chief just said, there's a famous picture of this black man on a big pile of coals, and his body is gone. And there are little kids eating corn. Smiling, like it's good, and you know that can't smell very good, and you eating that, man. And so when I see stuff like that, that kind of really makes me sort of mad. You know what I mean?
And we can't stop. We can't keep tipping around it either. If you have a white friend who really love and trust and respect you, you can walk up to that person and have dialogue with them and reach some kind of agreement. If a person hate you, I don't care what you say. Is not going to make any difference.
No, it ain't gonna make a
and
difference
let me tell black people in Tuskegee something. Now, well, anybody else who can hear us too. White people respect you best when you stand up for yourselves. Look at Selma. Dr. Martin Luther King reached out to the world and said, help us, we need help. Now, white people came in from all over the world to march with Dr. King.
Yes, they did.
The thing that white folks realized was that when you care about yourself, then I can care about you. You stand up for yourself, and then I can respect you. But if you tipping around all the time, trying to make everybody feel comfortable all the time, and not dealing in truth, well, then you're not going to have the respect of your own people, let alone somebody else.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Like I said last week, self-respect comes first. You can't respect somebody else unless you have self-respect.
That's right.
You got to.
Right. You have to. You definitely have to. And, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think we as a whole, as a race, can ever get over that or come to some type of, I ain't going to say agreement, but some type of, to where we can function?
It's happening right now. It's happening as we speak.
Okay. All right.
Those white people who hate black people will die hating black people.
Yeah.
The white people who are moderate in their thinking, they will learn how to respect black people and will act accordingly.
Yeah.
Those people who love you already, you don't have to worry about.
That's right.
And see, God is sick and tired of us being subservient within ourselves and everybody else.
Right.
And what he's doing is he put a Donald Trump in office to help to wake us up.
That's right.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Because Donald
with
Trump
that.
is going to upset the apple cart so bad for everybody, white, black, Native Americans, and everybody else, that we're going to sense that we are better come together or we're going to perish together.
Right.
I agree with
So
that.
I see it happening right now. And then when you look at our children who walked out of school the other day and told us emphatically, I'm not going to hate, I'm not going to be corrupt, I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to cheat. I am going to do the right thing for everybody.
You know, and it's a shame that it took a tragedy for this to happen.
Absolutely.
And that was a tragedy.
Right.
And I'm with those kids. I applaud those kids for trying to make change. You know, and everybody's not with change. And I can see that yesterday that, you know, kids were getting suspended for walking out.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, kids were getting detention. Kids were getting suspended and all kind of things for walking out. But then I look again, some of the people reversed the decisions.
Okay.
You know, but I think everybody should be able to protest the way they want to. A peaceful protest don't hurt nobody.
That's right.
And that was for a great cause.
Well, you know, there were a lot of schools that encouraged the walkout.
Yes,
there
right.
were a lot of.
You know, Macon County did it yesterday. Everybody in Macon County did it, which was great.
Right.
And let me say about those people who held students accountable. See, that's what students are working toward. Equality, justice.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Now, if I'm a principal and I tell a child, well, it's against the rules, if you walk out, I'm going to have to do something to you. That's establishing principle in the process.
Yeah.
So that student make the choice. Okay, do I stay in here and cower down, or do I go out and suffer the consequences?
Yeah.
Well, Martin Luther King and H. Rap Brown and Abernathy and all of them knew what the circumstances were. It was death in some cases.
Right.
But then let's get on out there and stand on a principle
up and do it anyway.
and to suffer the consequences.
That's
You
right.
know, I think I would have taken that detention. I would have taken that
I would've
suspension
took
to
it
be
too.
part of it because that's what I would have
I would
believed
have definitely
in,
done that too.
and I would have been part of what's going on.
That's the right thing to do.
That's the right thing to do.
Right thing
It's
to
just
do.
like you just said about the deputy who didn't go into the school.
Yeah.
There are circumstances for that, and he's going to suffer that.
He gonna suffer.
But
those.
now the thing is, we have to understand it's not everybody bold enough to run to some bullets.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
You got to have a firm commitment to taking care of your business as a law enforcement officer.
Right. Right.
To run into guns.
That's right. That's right.
When everybody else, as the sheriff say, can run the other way.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
But 90% of us out here or more will take that bullet for a citizen we don't even know.
That's
We don't
right.
even
That's
know.
right.
Let me ask you guys this when we're talking about going into the building like this. Now, this opens up a little bit wider debate for me.
Right.
In that you have an officer, he's got a 9mm and a couple of clips, but then you've got a guy in there with a 30-round magazine and a semi-automatic weapon.
Yeah.
And I could see somebody hesitating,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I can see him hesitating, but if you got a gun at all, or anything, or any chance of saving some of those kids, you don't think about it. You go in and do what you got to do.
You know, you do what you got to do for the children.
You do what you gotta do.
that.
That's come down to when you need to know what you're doing when you're going in there.
Right, you got to know what you're doing when you
know
go in.
what you're doing.
I'll tell you what you got to know. You got to know that God's in charge.
That's right. That's true.
You see?
That's true.
Because if you match up, now I don't, recommend that nobody just go out and pick a fight with somebody with an assault rifle.
Yeah.
But if you put yourself in a committed situation, and if you go through that door, and if you can pull off 4, 5, 6 rounds, with God's being in charge, and if He want you to be successful in what you're doing, then you're going to hit in the right place to shut down all of the rat-tat-tat-tat-tat, okay? But it takes faith, and it takes a lack of fear, man, to be able to go up against these guns and like survive. And I spent 20 years.
I know what that means. I know what that means.
I spent 27 years doing it, and I know when I did and when I didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
And I always did. Because that's what I signed up for.
Well, you're going to find a lot of retired guys. You're going to find a lot of police officers anywhere that say, I wish I was there to help those kids. I wish I was there. You know, and no matter what, if they had their old revolver, they would have ran in knowing they only got 6 shots.
That's right.
I would have ran in with 6 shots.
That's right.
But now we have these semi-automatic pistols. I would have run in with my 13, 14, 15 shots, changed my clip.
Right.
And then after I finished shooting, I would have tried to find another weapon.
Right.
You know, you're going to find a way to save these kids, to help these kids. You know, you think about these teachers in there and the other students that didn't have any weapons that were trying to save their loved ones, their friends, and everybody. And I know that's what I would have done. I know that's what we would have done. That's the right thing to do, and we would have done it to the last man.
That's right.
Let me ask you this. What is your all's opinion about teachers being armed?
That's that's a bad idea.
I think it's a crazy idea.
It's a bad idea to what I'm saying. It's a bad idea. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. You know, you're going to have more shootings in the school with teachers with guns than anything.
That's right.
You know, we talked about training. We talked about even teachers that have problems.
Right.
You know, you might get a teacher that had a bad day. You might have a teacher that got a mental illness that you don't know about.
Right.
You might have kids that think that teacher's just a wimp and they try to take the gun. You're going to have all kind of accidents and incidents with those guns than it's worth. And I bet we have more school shootings then than we have now.
You're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I just
that's
don't
what's
think
happened. In fact, this is another thing that we've been talking. This is what we've been talking about, though, Sheriff. What we were saying, what you just said right there.
Yeah.
With social media being like it is, we're seeing a lot of these incidents being posted about a shooting. Teacher had a gun and a student got injured, or in one case, the teacher accidentally left the gun in the bathroom and a student found it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's crazy.
I mean, this is crazy. We can't do that.
You're right. We can't do that.
Hard to protect that. You can't protect the pencil and the pistol. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, and especially now, you talk about, you know, it shouldn't be happening, but you have student and teacher arguments right now.
Right.
You put that gun in a teacher's hand, and they got more courage than it's worth when they arguing with a student or they getting upset. You just can't put a gun in anybody's hand.
And they gonna pull it out.
Yeah, they will pull it out, and accidents happen, or whether they mean it or not, things happen when you got a gun.
Right.
And it takes a trained individual, somebody with a level head, to have a gun.
That's right.
And that person, Sheriff, has to have a mission.
That's right.
A teacher's mission is to grow students into productive adults.
Right.
And psychologically, that ties that teacher's mind into teaching and loving and giving compassion and arguing with and mothering and fathering and all that other kind of stuff. A police officer is not trained to love nobody in a firefight.
That's right.
That's right.
You see?
That's right.
A police officer is taught to take out the target.
Yeah.
And
take
so
out the bad guy.
the only thing we have to do is concern ourselves with dumping in the direction to take down the threat.
That's right.
We don't have to worry
about
the threat. Whether I hugged him yesterday and whether his mama didn't come up to the school with him and all that.
It can't matter. It can't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Man, I mean, we can go on and talk about this forever and ever and ever. It's going to be a great debate.
Right.
You know, but I want Macon County to know that those decisions are already made by my department. You know, those decisions are already made by good people who want to protect this community. And, you know, we're going to gladly do what we need to do to protect our kids in this community.
Right, great.
And let me say one other thing, Sheriff, that's really important. As black men, we're going to have to become vigilant.
Yeah.
On what's happening in our community.
Right.
Like the bombs being sent around in Austin.
Yeah.
The evil people out here among us, they are not going to be pleased with the changes that's trying to happen
Right.
in the 8 years that they saw a black president in power.
Right.
And we're going to have all kinds of threats and temptations among them to do us in. So any black man especially, you ought to be charged with protecting your community.
Right, right.
And if you have concealed carry or whatever, if you see the threat coming out on your people, you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, you got to deal
Now,
with it.
if you don't want to deal with it, well, then don't be walking around with no gun on your hip.
That's true.
Because you'll just be a threat to yourself and everybody else.
That's right.
Right.
And you know, and you don't walk around with a gun just for show.
No, you don't.
If you showing a gun, you might have to use that gun.
Right.
You know, so make sure you know what you're doing when you get a gun. I want to tell the school system, you know, everybody in Macon County, thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for welcoming us in. We did get a bus from the Board of Education.
Wow.
And it's going to be at the Sheriff Department. It's going to be painted and logoed up.
Okay.
And, you know, that does a lot of things for the people in this community.
That's great. That's great.
You know, we are partnered up with Dr. Brooks and the Macon County Board of Education, all these schools and everybody. She sold us a bus. Macon County Board of Education sold us a bus for $1.
Wow.
And that's a great thing. And that shows that we are working together
right.
to get things done in this community.
Great.
And that will be a great tool for the Sheriff Department to help people in this community. So I want to say thank you and a shout out to them. I got to give a shout out to two ladies that I saw in Roses on Friday. You know, they came up to me and said they loved the show.
Okay.
Listen to it every week. So a shout out to you two ladies that I saw in Roses, smiling hugs to you, you know, and just everybody. And I got to talk about my Sheriff Department because, you know, they work hard all the time. Mm-hmm. But it makes you feel good when you go into a call like that, knowing that you got some real men and women behind you to help what's going on.
Right.
You know, you run into a call like yesterday, people with guns, and none of my guys hesitated. You know, we rolling. And we rolling together knowing that might be your last call.
That's it.
You know, but my guys they didn't hesitate, and they don't ever hesitate.
Right.
You know, and I got to say thank you to all of them. I can't just sit here and call out names, but you guys are great. I appreciate everything. And as long as we stick together, we'll be all right.
Great.
You know, just shout out to everybody at my department. You know, and after I say that, I always say shout out to all the law enforcement in the county because everybody's good.
Everybody.
And what we're trying to do is something special. And hopefully this is something that y'all have never seen before. Okay. And that's the way I want it to be. And I want you to feel safe and know that we're doing everything that we can to keep you safe.
That's right.
Especially our kids.
That's right.
I don't want anybody to worry about sending their kids to school. Mm-hmm. You know, we're going to do what we can to protect you and everybody else. So don't even worry about that. We know things happen, but we're going to try to prevent those things by being proactive in everything we do.
Great.
But shout out to everybody. Appreciate everything. And I know our time is short. And we talked a lot about it, but there's still so much to say.
It's so much to say.
And it's always good to have a revealer here because he gonna tell you like it is.
That's right.
He gonna say what he's thinking, and he tell it like it is.
That's right.
You know, it's always good to have a smart guy like, hey, Pat, I meant to say something about your drone thing that went viral. Not viral, but was on the Huckabee show.
Yeah, the drone.
Hey, man, that was a great thing. Man.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Jesse about that too. Jesse was on that.
When I saw it, I called him on the telephone. He didn't even answer my phone.
He didn't answer his phone. He was too big then. He too big to answer his phone.
No, but shout out to Jesse Harris because he helped with that too.
Oh, that's great, man.
Jesse in the building, man. Big shout out to you, my brother.
Tuskegee Television Network.
Tuskegee Television
man. Well, that's great, man.
Jesse be everywhere too now.
Yeah, Jesse
be man.
Oh yeah.
But let me say one more thing to the community, please. When you see stuff, don't turn your head.
That's right.
You know, turning your head could cost somebody else their life.
That's right.
You know, somebody else their property or whatever. Mm-hmm. So let's work together, man. Don't let your neighbors get robbed. Don't let your neighbors walk into something that's dangerous.
Right.
You wouldn't want anybody to sit there and not tell you something or tell the police officer anything that can save somebody or save somebody's property or save somebody's life.
Right.
So let's just work together, man. One village, one city, one community, here for the good of each other.
That's right.
We're here for the good of each other. All that bad stuff out the door and out the window. And if you can't live in our world, just step outside the circle.
That's right.
Just step outside the circle.
That's right.
And I think it'll make it
forever.
Yeah, it
took Conda.
It will make it a better place for everybody. If you're always negative, If you always hate what somebody trying to do when they're trying to do good, step outside our circle.
There you go.
Stay outside. Go out there and scream to yourself.
That's right.
Go outside and talk about yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You don't like the way that man look, go talk about the way you look.
Yeah.
Step outside the circle because we don't want nothing but happiness,
that's right,
togetherness, and all of that in this community.
That's right.
And it makes it a better place to live, a happier place to live. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody have problems.
Everybody
have problems.
Everybody.
And when you have a problem, you need help, we be the first one to help you.
That's right.
But if you got a problem, don't want no help, step outside the circle.
Step outside
the circle.
Exactly right.
Is that right, y'all?
That's right.
Y'all agree to that?
That's it.
Everybody agree to that?
Hey,
all right.
Did he preach, man? Did he preach?
Did I preach? Hey, that might be my next job.
That was preaching, man.
Yeah. But I just love the community, man. I love people. I love good people.
Right.
And we can sit here and talk and conversate about that all day
long.
You know what I'm saying? And we really can. We can. Yeah. But good people.
We got to roll in. They doing what you doing?
Time to roll on. Hey, I gotta get. Hey, Miss Sheriff. Shout out to you, Miss Sheriff.
Miss Sheriff in the
building. She winking her eye at me. She winking her eye at me. Shout out to everybody.
The whole crew, we got to get up out of here. Y'all see him. Give him a shot. Kim, hit the shot of the camera so see everybody in the building. Yeah, the whole crew in the building. Big shout out to everybody. We got to get up out of here. We ran out of time. But we've been talking all day.
All day.
You know, but I got to hit this. I got to hit this. This drop real quick, and we gonna be out. See y'all next go round.
Thank you, LT Sullivan. Thank you.
Hey, Tuskegee. Make sure you watch the Macon County Sheriff's Report with Sheriff Andre Brunson every day at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on Tuskegee Virtual TV, Channel 181 in town, and Channel 19 on the TU campus, hosted by DJ Booty Rush. Be sure to check out our live stream every Thursday evening on YouTube at Tuskegee Virtual. We're keeping Tuskegee in the know.
And you know this. And you know this. And you know